Hello guys, Mr. came back once again. It's a title video. Hajime Pro round 15-11 came out today. Technically the Arabic came out yesterday, but yeah. Outside of that, yeah, I feel like it's been quite some time since I recorded a video, even though I put up the Jake Paul stuff, but the chapter is out. You hear things here. Other people claim other things, and it's just I really have high expectations. Well, not high expectations as something bad, but not high expectations as expecting anything great. I just, this is just a neutral thing. But a recap: Sendo put out his arms, and he planned on coming up with some plan to push forward into Ricardo Martinez, and Ricardo Martinez is still as posed as can be. And it just Dante give no meaningful insight. Miata give no meaningful insight. Ippo is just talking more, no none. So outside of that, let's get right into it. Might as well. Might as well. And we start off where we left off before. Seno staring down Ricardo. Ricardo just looking at him. And Bill Stewart said to himself, "What do you think Glenn will accomplish? The man is in front of you. Isn't the man in front of you? Isn't that isn't thou snart so easily? Isn't that because it's that?" And then he's like, "Wheel." So it'd be what thou snarts. Will it be the man in front of you? Wouldn't be snart so easy? There you go. And Ippo says to himself, "He has an idea. I know it." Send to get popped with Ricardo's jab. And the announcer says, "The champion's jab," and it lands dead center. And the audience like, "Oh, he took that one clean. He ain't got any plan. He's just a damn fool." And Ippo's like, "Ah!" And the audience like he's planning something. And Sendo is still glaring at Ricardo. Blam! He gets hits again. Ippo's is shocked at something. Miata's poised. Then Takamura, he's looking at it, but we don't know what he's noticing. We see Sendo flies across. See the blood flies across Sendo's face. Blam! He gets it again, mid motion. And Ippo's like he's reacting. And Takamura says, "I see." Ricardo throw another jab. Blam! But it seemed like Sendo's left hand nearly touches his gloves. Ricardo, I guess he clenches his fist. And Sendo's just, I don't know if this is glaring or just the blood smeared against his face. And the honest like, wait, that was close, right? Yeah, he almost had him, just a little more. And Mars like, is he aiming for a counter? And Miata's like, I guess someone like Ricardo there's no way to do it cleanly. And he was never skilled. He was never a skilled counterpuncher to begin with. But widening his arms like that, there's nothing blocking his view. And by forcing the punches to come straight, to come straight on like that, it'll make him easier to see. Look, react, hit. He gets jabbed once again, and Sendo's left hook miss. Now it grazes that's Ricardo's left right glove, and the other's like so close. Seriously, just a tiny bit more. The jab comes down once again. Sendo sees it. Miata's like, Sendo's made his choice. A tired, and tired and true exchange of punches. And the jab lands once again. Sendo throws out a punch once more. And the other's like, shit, he still can't hit him, just a bit more. And Mars like, wait a minute. And he get hit by the jab once again. If he has to see the punches first, then he'll always be too late. He'll always be too late fighting back. And if he can't connect, then all he's doing is just getting beaten one-sidedly. Just how long can he withstand? And Miata's like, he's not considering that, right? And Ippo's like, yeah. Everyone in the audience is feeling it too. That's why he's so worked up. Even if he takes 100, as long as it connects with 1, then that's a big chance. And it gets popped once again. It breaks next week. Now I hear reports that it could be a short-term hiatus. Possibly. Still says we're getting a chapter like early January, so I don't know. It's gonna be a 2-week break, 1-week break. I don't know, but it's just what I'm supposed to say. I've been saying the same thing week after week, same old thing, same old thing, same old choices, and it just, why even waste time with the whole Miata thing? And then watch how, like, if you've been taking these jabs all this time, the exact same jab, right? Even if the jab got a little bit more force behind it, you still can't time it. Still can't. He was never a counter puncher. You don't have to be. It's about timing, buddy. Miata, you know this. Everybody knows countering is about timing. Speed doesn't matter. So, that's like, I wouldn't be mad as I would have just kept the stuff with the whole Sendo thing vague. And it was just Sendo just goes in there and just, we don't know if he has a plan or not. Because it's purely because of the expectation if they hype up some type of plan or some type of technique that is just, you're just questioning every week where you don't see any sign of why. Why? Just why? Well, I'm gonna hold up my guard. Okay. You expect to throw out an attempt to slip a jab? No. 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 Not even that. Once again, that 1 in a million chance. The statement I made before was, a lot of Sendo fights do end in one punch. Never said anything about just, how to explain this? How to explain this? Even with their weak guard, to a certain degree, that's all it takes for Sendo to land one good time, depending on the opponent. But that's not what he goes into fights depending on, really. Not when he fought Shigeta, not when he fought Seiyeki, or many other people. Jose Nargo, Jeff God Gonzalez. Like, why does it come to Ricardo Martinez? The only plan anybody can come up with is just hit him one good time. That didn't stop Gonzalez. Jose Nargo is not really a big defensive guy. And Gonzalez is a glass cannon. So it's like, why is it still this 1 in a million odds? So I did technically like see a few pages and some people reacting to it. Of course, somebody saying once again, going on with the clickbait. It is what it is. But I was really hyped up and amped to read this chapter yesterday because, oh, you know, gotta come up 21st. So on, so on, so on. I gotta see it. And it's like, it's gonna be tomorrow. And I try to look everywhere, try to go to Twitter. The only thing I'll be able to see is a few pages that was not even translated. So I had a general sense what's going to happen. It's roughly about 9 pages, it's not 7 this time. But really don't know what I'm supposed to be saying. Like I said before, last few weeks has been the exact same thing. It's rather Sendo throwing punches or Martinez throwing punches. There's no clear exchanges. And then Miata's like, he decided to go for like a genuine exchange of blows. Like this is Sendo. This is just like, I'm gonna be honest. It's gotten towards the point where I have to question, what was George's storyboard or plans for this fight? Is he just winging this thing, or is he, or is he just because you gotta wonder. You really gotta wonder. Cause it seems like there's no long-term plan with this thing. Like there's none. And if it was anybody else, I'd be, well, you know, it's like a weekly schedule type thing. It's one thing to have a weekly schedule, but you planned this fight over 4 years ago. So I'm not hearing that weekly schedule crap. You've been in this 30 years. 30. I'm not hearing, no, you gotta get used to it. You've been doing this for 30 years. Consistently 30 years. Now here's a negative thing. Apparently George Murikawa has been put into the hospital, which is sad to see. Um, like I always say, I hope he's alright. I'd rather, you know, focus on his health and well-being than, try to risk his life trying to put out chapters. So, if it turns into bi-weekly, if it's bi-weekly and we at least get like a guaranteed like 25 or 30 chapters, I wouldn't mind. Cause somebody said, well, the average chapter length is about 18 to 17. Let's cut the old man some slack. Alright. I'm at least expecting a 1.5 chapter, so at least 25 to 30 shouldn't be so bad. Right? And that's every 2 weeks. A little bit bigger chapter, give him more time. So on and so on, right? But it's just, this fight just been, like, imagine going back to the first, like, what chapter, 498? 497? And imagine reading that up to now. We've had, again, 14 chapters? We've been in this fight for over 6 months? 6 to 5 months? What have we gotten out of it? Truthfully, what have we gotten out of it? So if I sound quite neutral or nonchalant, it's just what I'm supposed to say. The same old thing over and over again. Miyata's not giving no meaningful commentary. Mari the one that's giving no meaningful commentary. At least Takamura can see a plan. But it's just like, well, how much damage can Sendo take? And once again, I must say, for a fight that you've been planning for since before you fought Wally, how do you learn nothing? I don't understand. I don't understand. He encountered Ricardo Martinez in chapter 1297, not 12, 1276. Like the 12 mid-70s, right? It's been over, what, 200 chapters? 300 chapters? No, it's been most definitely over 200 chapters. Been over 200 chapters. So that's what, 1370, that's 1470. Been over 200 chapters in them. And this is the best. And it makes it even worse because Ricardo isn't doing anything special. He isn't outclassing them. He isn't blowing them out of the water. He's not doing anything. There's nothing he's done impressive in this entire fight. Nothing. And it's getting towards the point where not only do we have to throw Sendo to the garbage can, we have to throw Ricardo into the garbage can. He fight Ippo, this shit's gonna be boring. It's gonna be garbage. How is Death God Gonzalez a 10-time more complex and competent final villain than Ricardo Martinez is? Once again, Bill Stewart, an idiot. Just sit there, just gives nothing. Nothing. How is Death God Gonzalez, the number 2 guy, way more interesting than the number 1 guy? Because it's the same thing it's supposed to be a boxing market, right? We got these other champions in the featherweight class. Who are they? Billy McCullum gave up his belt. 2 other people were unifying. How come Alfredo Gonzalez didn't go after those belts? Why didn't he? Who's the interim champion? Who got upgraded to the main champion for the belt that Billy McCullum gave up? How are we going to have a boxing series where everybody's chasing one singular guy? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. That's dumb. It's not even the fact that it got to be Sendo and Ippo's goal, but at least fleshing out these other guys who action. It's the same thing with Vord. Who else is in, like, what, 135? Not 135, 130. Nobody knows. We don't even know who's got the other belts in the weight classes Takamura, quote unquote, conquered. You fought like 2 people. Never been undisputed. Never cleared out the division, or at least fought most people, because you can argue that, well, we have to try to run and try to stall Takamura out. That could be a possibility, right? It's never explained, it's never expressed, it's never brought up. So that's when it's just like, there's certain elements of boxing that could be brought up, that could be explored, that could be looked at and say, well, that's an interesting thing. It's similar to how going international thing. Like, it's fun to see Wally and Vorg and them in a different country. But nothing happens in Mexico. Nothing. The most interesting thing we got is Sendo running all over the place looking for Gonzalez. No tasting of food, no vacation time, no get a change of training, no people spying on nobody, no nothing. Just, well, in Mexico, that's it. That's it, yeah. Is Takamura gonna ever fight at the Tokyo Dome? Is Takamura ever gonna make his American debut? Because I've gotten to the honest point where Ricardo is a garbage character. If this is all we gonna get, he's garbage. I'm sorry. And him fighting Ippo is gonna be a garbage fight. He's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything special. There's no special techniques. There's no outclassing. He's just gonna fight like a Gonzalez, just with a more refined jab. And if that's all he's gonna be, which is hinted towards Gonzalez that he gotta stop Ippo from fighting Gonzalez, then Ricardo Martinez is easy work for Ippo, the new Denchiro. Literally. Easy work. Because Ippo could have won. So, it's shit like this that's irritating. I can't deny, man. You got all these avenues, all these different viewpoints, all these different angles that haven't even been explored early in the series. We can go into the boxing commissions. We can go into what it's like to manage a fighter. We can go to all these type of things, especially with Ippo. If you want to switch to the other side of things, well, give us the main fight with other characters. Haven't done it. So that's why at this point, I pretty much give it up on everything at this point. Because he's not going to show anything that I want to see. So that's why I said years back, I'm concerned for having Wally, Mishiba, and Sendo be back-to-back fights. And I stand to be corrected. Retcons, suspect chapters, and now Ricardo Martinez being a garbage character. I'm not even mad at the theorizing. I just mad how it's executed. The man is boring. Like he's not even technically. Like we've seen nothing. He's done more against an old man Dante that was on his way out than he's done in the last 10 years of the Ippo manga. And Dante is not even that good because he went life and death with an Ippo that was nowhere close to world level. And then got blown out the water by Dante 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 8. Getting one-sidedly beaten like a pinata at a quinceañera. So it's just, what is like? So that's why I keep emphasizing. If the man gonna lose, then stretch him out next chapter. Let's wrap this up. Like, why are we wasting time? Like, this been 6 months. 6 months of nothing. What's the point of this? Cause now I could fully believe the Ippo fight with Martinez is gonna be boring. Number one, Ippo gotta rebuild his career since he's been retired, so he's gonna fight to come back. So it's not gonna be one fight unless you're trying to rig something and throw all reality out the window. You gotta ask, well, you can easily get this fight with Ricardo Martinez, and what took him so long to get fights? We'll talk more to get other type of fights. Should he been a unified champion? Shouldn't he already have all these other attributes and so on and so on? Yes. So it just, what's the point? Like, I tried to give this fight enough time to breathe and develop and see what's going to happen. But it seems like it's not going to happen at all. Every week I ask the same question. Every week I wait for the same thing. Every week I bring up how I want to see this and this and this and this and that. Every week. Every week. This goes into another thing. When was the last time we've ever seen a legitimate date in Ippo? We've seen what? 1990X? Give or take? We never find out when it's in March. We never find out when it's in July. What the last time you saw snow in Ippo? Like 200 chapters? 300 chapters? I can't recall the last past few years ever seeing snow. How much time has passed by? Nobody knows. How old is Ippo? Nobody knows. It's just speculation. It could be maybe 10 years. It could be... Nobody knows. And that's why I'm like, I'm sad that his health... Now, I haven't seen like what the health problem is. I just know he's going to be going on a temporary hiatus. Enjoy's been taking a trip to the hospital. I don't know if it's a long-term overnight stay or a temporary stay, but it's just like, my gosh, like, did he just put this fight on at the spur of the moment? Because honestly, this fight could have been wrapped up in 10 chapters, and we just skip a few rounds. And I leave it out for this. And then some people might bring up the foolish argument, well, it should have ended when Ippo retired. And I would say no. Now somebody say, well, I would say that if Ippo post-retirement was the best thing on the planet, you would be saying shit about whether he should have ended or not. You don't believe in what you're saying. You only saying it because it turned out bad. That's it. In this case, it's not even bad, but it's just like a lot of people only say things purely because of how it turned out. Because the concept, what concept? And that's when and that's why I keep reiterating the same thing in these videos. It's not about the truth. It's not about what's right. It's not about good execution. It's not about all these things. It's only about what makes them feel good and what makes them happy. It doesn't matter if you're lying to them. It doesn't matter if you're poisoning them. It doesn't matter what you're doing to them. They'll keep going back. We've seen it for YouTubers. We've seen this for celebrities. We've seen this in every single way and faculty of life. But it is what it is. If it's WK, it's not supposed to be a long video. I probably cracked 20 minutes already. But it's just like, what are your thoughts of another week in the exact same thing happening? Again, and what are your real thoughts that, could it be that Gonzalez is a better character than Ricardo Martinez ever was? Because the stats, the impact, the reflection, and just the pure dominance the character has shown, with actual skill, tactics, timing, and jab, it cannot compare. So, compare Sendo versus anybody else versus Gonzalez. Compare Ippo versus anybody else versus Gonzalez. The atmosphere, the energy, the presence Gonzalez brought, the next tier of the world that he revealed. Uncomparable. So if it's WK, like, comment, subscribe, and peace.